Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Manchester fucking City are champions, absolutely the best team in the land and all the world, and you better believe it. This is of course the Fan View Live. If you want to have your say, patrons and members, there's a link for you guys over on patreon.com/Esteemed Kompany or in the community tab as well. You can go find that over on YouTube. Come and have your say. Come and have your say as we chat about City winning the league again, once again. This glass of wine is for every single one of you. I'm thinking the Guardiola. I'm pretty certain it's a Catalan wine. Either way, come on, City. And guess what? Our Scott's already in saying, Blue Moon, you saw me standing alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Big love to all the Blues out there, and big love to you, Steve. Thanks for an incredible season of watch-longs. It would not have been the same without you, Scott. Big enemy energy for a reason. Big love to Scott, an absolute legend. Big love to every single one of you. Guys, I've got a very special first guest. Esteemed father. Dad's coming on right now. I'm coming to you. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Dad.
Hi. You okay?
You're right. Dad, we're champions.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely elated. We've had to wait. We've had to wait a while, but hey, we got it there, didn't we? Get in there.
Best team in Manchester, Dad.
Got there in the end.
I heard a rumour with the best team in Manchester, Dad. I heard a rumour. It's best team in the world, I reckon. Best team in the world.
I think we are, really. I don't think for 1 minute there's any doubt that we're not the best team in the world at the moment, and that's why everybody fears us.
I love it.
Even when we have a poor game, we still win. You know, and I mean, I know we tripped up against Chelsea on Saturday, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We tripped up. We rested some players, which they needed to do because they were on the verge of being burnt out. But yeah, we slipped up. But United slipped up tonight and gave us the title, so it's even better.
And you absolutely love it, Dad, don't you? You absolutely love it. Someone's commented as well saying, Manchester shines blue tonight, Premier League champions once again. Indeed, Man City 225, we are. And to be honest, Dad, is this how good has this season been now anyway? We obviously won the Champions League, but we've already won the Premier League and Carabao Cup. It doesn't really, it does matter, but at the same time, if someone said this a few months ago when we were mid-table, we would have snapped their hands off, wouldn't we?
Oh, well, if you go back to the start of the season where we sort of faltered a little bit and we were really struggling to find our feet in the Premiership. And then, I don't know what went on in the dressing rooms because I'm not privileged to understand or know that. But whatever he said to Pep, whatever Pep said to him after the first 5 or 6 games of the season, it seems to have completely changed them, and they actually started to believe in each other and protect each other. And play well as a team.
Nicola just asked the question, Dad, exactly the same time as it. Where's your wine? She said, "Where's your wine, Mike? Where's your wine?"
Oh, I actually try and avoid drinking in the week because I get up
you're sensible.
Early in the morning to go to work.
Of all the nights. By the way, if anyone's wondering why she calls him Mike, it's because he's like a sat-nav Tom. Mike. He knows everywhere in the world, don't you? He knows everywhere. And also, you know how to drive around all the roads around Old Trafford just to got that to him.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to be giving a big large tomorrow at work, Dad?
Oh, well, I've got a few colleagues that are United fans and unfortunately Liverpool fans, but everybody has their faults, don't they? Nobody's perfect in this world. But there's a few out there that I know that are United fans. So I'm sure I'll be sending a few messages out tomorrow or speaking to them on the phone, one of the two.
First thing in the morning.
Oh yeah, I'll be out on the road at 20 to 6, quarter to 6. So I'm sure I'll get a phone call off one of them at least, and I'll just rib him then for the rest of the day because I'm meeting one of them tomorrow. He's a United fan, so I'm just going to tease him all day. I'm just going to thoroughly enjoy it.
Better away. Kieran's just said,
I might just walk in with a bag of Walker's crisps or something.
Why? Oh yeah, Leicester. Yeah. Kieran's just put Esteemed Dad, what a hair and what an honor to have you with us up the Blues. Indeed, Kieran. This is my dad, man. He's the one who took me to games early on. Thank you for.
Yeah, I know. Do you know what? They were good days then, weren't they?
When we
used to sit in the North Stand at Main Road.
To be honest, like, it's like we said, weird because we kind of got into football like together, didn't we? Which is like I love it. Like, and like my dad from
Yeah,
his sins is from Wales, you know. So I mean, so like, but we went through City together back in the '90s, when like and then you eventually end up working for Man City. You would have thought that, would you? Years ago, you wouldn't have thought
I
that when
know,
we started
I
going.
know.
You love
And
it,
I
absolutely love it.
actually quite enjoy it, to be fair. I mean, if any of you guys ever go on East Stand Level 3, you'll always find me on 301, 9 or 10. You know, come by and say hello.
I
You'll
want next
always
season,
find me
right?
up there.
I want you to find my dad next season. He's stand level 3. Find him, hunt him down, and the first person who replies, right, with a selfie of my dad and him, you and my dad together. Like, I don't know. I'll give you an Esteemed Kompany mug. It's all I've got to give, but I'll give you one. So hunt my dad down. It's like a race to get a photo with my dad. That's what I want to see. I want everyone to find that. Oh, Dad, like three Premier League titles in 4 years, Dad. Three Premier
I
League titles
know.
in 4 years.
Pep's done so well, you know. He really has with the squad. And also, you know, I was thinking yesterday about Foden. I mean, he's 20 going on 21. And he's got, what, 11 trophies now?
I think he turns 21 this month, and he's got 11 trophies. I mean, it's just insane, isn't it? It's just
It's
absolutely insane.
insane. You know, absolutely insane. You see, I've got my tea in my City Cup now.
Yeah, I just realised I got mine. I got my own City mug here as well, Champions mug. Oh, it's actually Grandpa as well. It says
my
like
tea's in my City Cup, and that's all that matters. And Mum's crawling out of the bedroom on her hands and knees because they want to be on camera.
stand up, Mum. Stand up, man. Give us a wave, Mum. Mum, come back. Oh, boring. Oh, where's she gone? Can't believe it.
But no, I remember them days at Main Road. It was so fun. I used to get home from work and I'd dive down, pick the tickets up, come back, pick us up, and we'd drive and park at Wally Range High School and walk up to the ground.
I remember the first time you ever got me tickets. And sorry, guys, this is just me and my dad reminiscing about me being young in the old days, and I love it. I remember the first time you ever got me ticket. It was February 1994, right? And this is my dad, by the way. No, this is my dad, by the way. I'm chatting to. And the first time, right? In 1994. And you went about 12 o'clock and you disappeared out. I thought you just gone shopping or something like that. And right. And you came back and you had tickets. It was Man City versus Swindon, and we won 2-1.
Right, it was, yeah.
David Rocastle scored. Rest in peace. Kevin Horlock was playing for Swindon, and he scored an own goal for us. Right. Kevin Horlock, he became Manchester City, and that was 1994. And do you remember when we were sat there watching like Rosler and Beagrie and everyone and being absolutely incredible?
I remember watching. I remember watching a superb goal by Rosler when he climbed up and he got it on his head and it went in the far corner of the goal.
Oh, he was quality, absolute quality.
Got score into the goal at the North Stand. I remember really, really well.
Dad, it's the great times.
They were good days.
They were good days. No, as Mum's in the comments saying, no, she won't. Come on, Nicola. Go on, Mum. Go on if you're watching. Get on, it's funny.
I do remember when
Mum, you're beautiful,
Andy
by the way.
Us.
You're beautiful, Mum. Get on.
Do you remember when Andy was with us as well?
That's my brother, by the way. Yeah.
And we all jumped up to scream and shout like absolute nutters. And Andy went to sit down and his seat folded up. Do you remember that?
Do you remember when Uwe Rosler pelted a shot in like the warm up and he hit the ball so hard that he took the legs of the chair away and he knocked the steward flying off the chair. I always genuinely remember that. No, this isn't my brother, by the way. So, Harley, this is not my brother. This is my dad. So is that your brother? Like, no, it's my dad.
I do remember. There were really good times, you know. I mean, there was a lot of heartbreaking times, good times, hard times.
But look at where we are now.
When we got relegated.
Oh, shit.
You know?
Andy's just put and Andy Scott, this guy's just put, do you remember those little kids who come over to look after the car? Do you remember parking in
I do, yeah, I remember it well.
Wally Range?
Can we mind your car for £1, mister?
and he was like, either you do that, mate, or kicking a ball at your car all day. That's what it was, wasn't it? Like, basically, we'll
mind your car for £1, mister. That's what they used to say.
That's the main. And if you didn't do it, they would kick a ball at your car, wouldn't they? They'd do it.
Oh yeah, it was worth paying them the £1 for peace of mind.
little blues as well. They were little blues, but they were little shits. I absolutely loved it. But
they
now,
were around there, unfortunately.
We're Premier League champions now.
Things started changing. We went to the Etihad. Things started getting better. We brought better players in, better management. Then, in fairness, you know, the last sort of 3 managers we've had, including sort of Mancini and Pellegrini, we haven't done bad, really, have we?
It's been good. By the way, someone just commented saying, my granddad used to do that for a quid and got his car radio nicked. Lucky.
It was well worth
Lucky,
the quid in them days.
And do you remember, Dad, just going Wembley and watches the winners' trophies? I mean, it's like the best, isn't it? It is the best, isn't it? Those days getting on the trophy to going to Wembley and watching City win trophies. And I know, and Dad, think as well. And you can be sat. My dad's not been in this flat because of the pandemic for a year. And like soon, Dad, in 2 weeks, you'll be sat in here with me watching the game.
Oh,
it's
no,
going to be class,
I'm
innit?
so looking forward to it. I really am. I really am.
Dad,
I mean, I hope now that it goes to Portugal now. At least then we can get some fans out there to watch the game.
Yeah. I'll try the best I can. It probably won't happen, Dad, but I'll try the best I can to get tickets. It's probably not going to happen at all. But Dad, I'm going to.
Hey, do you listen? If I got offered some at City, I'd be like over the moon. Over the blue moon.
You take him, we take him, and I'm paying for it. Fuck off the house. Dad, we've got the house. We've got the house accepted, and we got a Premier League title in the same day. But yeah, we'll fuck off the house and we'll go to the Champions League final. We won't do.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? By the way, look at
in the dream. Sorry, Nick.
Look at Nicola's feet there, by the way, waving around in the background. I'm not sure you can see it.
That's in disagreement.
Dad, I love you.
She's probably giving you the V's with the feet like that.
Dad, I absolutely love you loads, Dad. We're champions. I'll drink wine for you, Dad. I drink wine for
All
you.
right, sweetheart.
I'm going to try and get some other people on, but I love you loads, Dad. See you later. Drive safely tomorrow, go to work. Catch you later, Dad. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you, Dad. Love you absolutely loads. That was adorable. Adorable. Don't forget, guys, if you are a fan view live, if you're watching and you're a member in a Patreon, come on, man. Get on. Go to the YouTube community tab. Go to patreon.com/Esteemed Kompany if you are a member or a Patreon. And come on and have your say. Kieran, come on, man. Safi, come on. Andy, come on. The link is live for the members. I'll just double check it's live. I'm pretty certain it is. Oh, I've not pressed. Oh, it's my fault. Guys, I hadn't pressed. If you go quickly now to the members, if you go over to the community tab, it's there. Thomas Safi, it should be there now. Get on. Oh, that was nice, wasn't it, Nicola? That was sweet. I love that. Dad, I love you, man. I love you, Dad. And I know he's just watching that right now with my mum as well. It's so nice, man, just to chat away to my dad on this. And like, I've seen him recently. It's been absolutely wonderful. It's been wonderful. It's been beautiful. Kieran! I wasn't waiting around, man. I was getting you on as soon as I definitely could. Talk to me, man. We're champions. Just talk to me. Just say anything.
All right, okay. I'm a little... We didn't even have to play. It's just ours.
No, we played. And
absolutely
then we won.
Inevitable. Well, we had to play some games, but let's be honest. Ruben Diaz, Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez, Ilkay Gundogan, Phil Foden, Kyle Walker, John Stones, Alexander Zinchenko, João Cancelo. There's a fair few they had to play, but good God, did we earn it, especially after a dismal season, let's be honest. Sky Sports announced that we were officially out of the title race at one point.
Didn't they pay out as well or something like that? I feel like someone paid out at some point, but fuck them, man. Fuck them, because we keep answering these questions, don't we? We keep finding a way to turn it around. We always do. And like this is how does this one feel compared to the others? Because it's been a different one, hasn't it? It's been a weird one, but it's been different.
Yeah, I don't feel as close to it as I have the past few, because obviously I was there to actually celebrate them and be there for them. Even the one where we obviously picked Liverpool on the last day of the season, I was there outside the Etihad getting very drunk in the City bar, and yeah, I felt a lot closer to those than I have to this one. This one definitely feels different, but it's still a win is a win. Champions is champions.
And we could even have our best season ever. I know it's weird that we're not there and stuff like that, but we could win the Premier League, man, because we're Champions League as well. Yeah. I mean, it automatically becomes our greatest ever season, doesn't it? It just does. As simple as that. If we win the Champions League as well.
Absolutely. Easily becomes our greatest ever season, and I think reduces this thing about Pep that he's a fraud, which he's absolutely not. By the way, Zinedine Zidane is more of a fraud than Pep Guardiola will ever be. But yeah, it's stunning what we've managed to achieve this season with no fans anywhere.
With no striker as well, which is the crazy
thing.
No striker. So It's like to do what he's done as false nine to win all these trophies. No one else could manage that other than Guardiola. Genuinely, I believe that to be true. No one else could manage the way that we've done it this season other than Guardiola. Because it's just, I think this is on him. Obviously, Diaz as well has been a massive factor, but I think is it just me? Does feel this will feel really sweet for Guardiola?
I mean, he said earlier, didn't he, about the Chelsea game? The Chelsea game was a turning point when we lost to Chelsea earlier in the season, and that things need to be looked at. We need to look at a new game plan, and having no number 9 for the majority of the season, and having to change and play under that false 9, but still scoring shed loads of goals. I mean, Ilkay Gundogan for me is player of the season, by the way, if you're going to ask that question.
Okay.
But just because
but that's interesting to know.
I'm just going to tell you anyway.
Maybe I should have actually. Why is it him and not Ruben Diaz? Why? And also, is there not one big more game that could weight that, or you already decided it's Gundogan?
I think I've decided it was Gundogan, just because of he changed everything for me. Those games where we looked like luster and we just looked a little under the weather, and no one really looked like really committed. Even KDB and Phil Foden maybe looked a little bit lackluster and things. I think Ilkay Gundogan was the driving force for the turnaround. Him being able to score goals and transitioning from being what we thought was quite a negative. Well, me and the people I go to watch City with, we thought were quite a negative player. We called him Gunderwank at one point.
Did we?
And now
that was news to me, man.
We did. Me and the people I went to see with, we called him Gunderwank for a little bit because we just didn't rate him. But
you were so wrong. You were so wrong.
We were absolutely wrong. Yeah,
he was brilliant in the 18-19 season. I'm defending him, but it doesn't matter right now. Sean's just put Champione is a dreamland. Imagine Champions League 2, Sterling won the treble. God, imagine, man. Imagine, Sean. It'd be absolutely wonderful, mate. And it'd be funny. It'd be funny because no one can argue it after that point. They'll try, but they can't do it, man. They can't do it. But Kieran, man, I'm gonna get other people on because this I'm too tired to go on for ages tonight, man. But thank you so much.
No, that's fine.
We're champions.
Thank you.
We're champions. Big love to you, man.
Absolutely.
Catch you in a bit, dude. See you later, dude.
See you in a bit,
Bye-bye.
man. Thank you, man.
Bye. I'm coming to you, Safi. Hello, champions, mate.
Again.
You've got it so good at your age, man. 3 times in the last 4 years. You've been champion since you were like, and I'm jealous, but you must be loving it though. You must be loving it.
It's become normal now. Like it's I don't know. It's so weird. Like because I started watching when I was like little, right? But and then I mean, stuff was just like it was always expectations was like top 4. Let's win. Let's get top 4. But now Pep Guardiola has made winning the league normal. He's made this greatness of our team. He's made it normal. 18 wins in a row, 20 wins in a row. These long winning streaks. He's made everything normal. The way we play, everything is just. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's come easy to me because our team is just it's phenomenal.
Is this the best one yet, or is it out of Guardiola's, or is it not? Like, there's no correct answer. I'm just genuinely curious. How does this rank compared to the other two?
I think this year is a lot different than the other years we won the league, especially because like the other years it was more we were so dominant in our attack, and this year, especially after that start where we weren't so good at the start of the year, but then we found this grittiness where we could just grind out results time after time. And that's why we won games like against Southampton 1-0. And so on the odd occasion, we would have smashed teams, obviously. But on the odd occasion, regularly, we'd win like 1-0 or 2-1, 2-0. And that's why, that's just the difference this year. We were so gritty. And like you said before, 2-1 is our special scoreline this year. And since when was 2-1 our special scoreline? And that's just because we just find a way to win sometimes this year.
And how did we win the league as well? 2-1 once again. Like we literally 2-1 tonight for Leicester. It's like there's something in that scoreline this year, and like obviously it's only recently, but it's meant something. I'd like to see one more 2-1.
Yeah, maybe
one more 2-1 would be nice.
Maybe the final 2-1.
Who's your player of the season, man? Like I've obviously got one more big game left. Like who is your player of the season now?
I know the guy before said Gundogan, but I disagree completely. I say it's Diaz. Has to be Diaz.
I agree. Personally, I agree. Mainly because I think that as soon as he signed was the moment everything changed. I feel like it honestly was everything.
It was. It's like that's what I was saying. That grittiness and that grinding out of results we got, and almost he added an extra passion to our team too. And that's that's just his leadership. But when he came in, we got from that team from the start of the season to a completely different side. And we just started to grind out more results, and then we gained confidence, and then throughout the whole year we just won so many more games. But he's completely changed us. And like, for example, against PSG, the on the semifinal, there's times in that game where we weren't the better team. And if you look back against Liverpool or something, when we were 3-0 down and we weren't the better team, like we would concede goals. But now with Diaz, it just seems different. It seems like he brings everyone together as a unit, and you saw the whole team defend as one. It's brilliant. He has to be player of the year.
The thing for me about Diaz, man, is like it's the way that he takes such pride in defending. Like, he's so fucking pumped up. He celebrates a block like a goal, and I feel like that's genuinely rubbed off on Walker, Stones, Zinchenko in particular. The way they're all patting each other on the back and like coming at each other like that every time they make a block. It's like he's a hype man. He gets everyone going as well about defending. When's the last time you saw anyone like that? Like, those players don't seem to exist anymore. Like, who are that up for defending?
Yeah, he reminds me of like a Puyol, a legendary center back. He reminds me of.
That's a great comparison, incredible comparison, man. Because Puyol wasn't the fastest either, was he? But he was tenacious. He threw himself in it, but he was smart, Puyol, as well.
And this Diaz, he lives every single minute like it's the last minute of his life. Like he has to defend or he's gonna die. Like he's just Ruben. It's like he plays with like so much passion, and it's like it's the 90th minute of the Champions League final, and it's 1-1, and you have to defend across. Like,
mate, I absolutely love that line, by the way. He plays every minute like it's the last of his life. And do you know what? For a 15-year-old, mate, that's an incredibly poetic line, genuinely. Like, I'm not trying to patronise you there, but honestly, it's brilliant. And he sums him up. That sums up the essence of Ruben Diaz absolutely brilliantly. He does. He gives you absolutely everything, doesn't he? Everything. He leaves everything on the pitch. And he's never, you never, ever can ever doubt that Diaz has given anything other than 100%. It may not always come off, but, I mean, it's weird to look at a player and go, nah, you get everything, don't you? Everything.
Yeah. You could tell by the expressions of his face, and even when he makes a block, every single game he leaves 110% out on the pitch, and he leaves his heart on the pitch. And like you said, that rubbed off John Stones, rubbed off especially on Zinchenko. Zinchenko, like, he's surprised us all with his performance this season, and after that against PSG, you saw after the game, he left his whole heart out on the pitch. I mean,
he's got a certain kind of personality, Diaz, that I feel like if you connect with him, you really connect with him. Like, there's some people that when you get on with them, it's just a fire starts, man. Like, he proper lights and you get on with him really well. And like, I've met like one of my best mates. I remember when I started working with him, we just literally within like 2 weeks, Nicola was joking that me and my mate were like in a relationship. Like, you're like your best friend straight away. And some people that have that kind of fieriness and like charisma that everyone around them, like, they're drawn to. And I guarantee John Stones, Zinchenko, Walker, and people like that, you can tell they love Ruben Diaz. You can tell already that they're absolutely obsessed with playing with him. And for me, that is the difference, because he's just inspirational. And some players do lift everyone up, don't they, alongside them. And I think, like, if they buy into it, it's almost like Stones, Diaz, Walker, Zinchenko is our best defense, because they all care so much about that collective and they all care in the same way, if that makes sense. That's not to say Laporte and Cancelo aren't brilliant, but there's a fieriness when those four play together that they really feed off each other, don't they?
Yeah, it's because like whenever they defend together, I think defending has a lot to do with passion and how aggressive you are. And when you're more as a unit and you have that passion that Diaz has that rubs off on anyone else, they get so aggressive. You get stronger because there's rush of adrenaline. There's all of that, and they all become better defenders. And that's why they've been the best players this year, because they all rub off of each other, and then I don't know, they're unplayable.
It's brilliant. Yeah. And this is it, man. Like, it's absolutely brilliant. And you're right. Like, there is Zinchenko and Stones. Well, they can tell they love Diaz. They can tell. For me, he's the Premier League Player of the Year as well. I mean, and I'm not. Gundogan and Mahrez brilliant. Bernardo brilliant. Foden brilliant. Cancelo brilliant at times. We've had so many brilliant players. Of course you do. But the change. I can't remember the last time we saw. To me, like the last time we had a player that made such a demonstrable immediate change on the team, probably De Bruyne or someone like that. I can't remember, but either way, it's like he really has single-handedly changed his team, and it's like that is to do that in a team of world-class players. It's special, isn't it, man? It's special.
Yeah, because he's brought us up a whole nother level. Like like there's always been something missing, even though we've for the past like so many years now, like 4 or 5 years, we've been amazing. Like we cannot complain. We've been so good, but I think the reason we didn't get past the quarterfinals in the Champions League and like that reason was because we missed one last piece, and that last piece is Ruben Diaz. That last piece that sometimes you need to dig in because you're not gonna be able to control a game for 90 minutes. You know,
No.
that's exactly what Ruben Diaz did. And also, I want to give so much credit to Pep. Pep gets so much credit because at the beginning of the year we weren't that good. We were just a bit different team. But Pep isn't a stubborn guy. He's not a stubborn manager, and he realized we might have to change a little bit. We might have to just make a few adjustments, and then I mean it paid off. I mean Guardiola, what a manager, what a guy. I mean.
He's the best. He's the best. And I keep saying this, and like I hope for everyone's sake, my sake, your sake, that it isn't as good as he gets. But I really do feel like he probably is. There'll be someone else eventually, but right now, there's no one like Pep, and I mean that because not that there isn't very good managers around, but Pep is a certain like. What I will say about Pep, you know, someone like Pep is special by the weight of confidence and conviction he has. Do you remember when the Super League stuff was kicking off? There was not a single manager in the world that spoke out with the same passion and conviction and strength and ferocity that Guardiola did. And because Guardiola is a unique person, he is absolutely laced and covered in charisma. Like he's such an incredibly passionate person that he just rubs off on everyone, man. Like, and when you've got the genius brain that he's got tactically, how he sees football in a way that, and maybe there is some other manager somewhere that sees football pretty close to how he does, but I guarantee there's no one that also has that mixed with this insane Catalan passion and leadership. He's like the perfect manager, like incredibly charismatic, an incredible understanding of people, an incredible leadership style, and an incredible tactician. Like there'll be others who are incredible at individual bits as well, but there's no one that has all four of those categories ticked off in the way he does. And maybe someone like Thomas Tuchel is very good, but I guarantee you he is not. He's not a leader in the way that Guardiola is. He might be very good, but he's not insanely good, and he's not like, you know, like that's my opinion. I mean, do you share that, or like?
Of course, I completely think Guardiola is like he changed football, and he has the biggest say. And like you said, when he came out and said that stuff about the Super League, he wasn't afraid because you know what, he's Pep Guardiola, and he's built that thing
Exactly.
for himself. He's
bigger than pretty much every other player in the world. That's the crazy thing about him now. Other than Messi, Ronaldo going.
Yeah, it's almost like he speaks. I remember Johan, like a lot of people. Of course, I wasn't alive, but Johan Cruyff. I mean, it's almost like he had this thing over all of football, and the same thing I think can go for Pep because he's completely changed the game. And I mean, it's just I don't know. Guardiola, he has to be the one. I hope he stays with us for much longer, and he becomes like the longest manager ever. That would just be the dream. But I mean, he's on another level. He's special.
Mate, he's incredible. So Safi, I've got carried away and I've got so many people waiting, so I'm going to have to get onto them. But mate, go and enjoy yourself, man. I'm loving the task, by the way. It looks class. You get growing that task, man. No, I'm not taking the piss either. I'm being sincere. You keep growing it, man. You keep growing it. I'll catch you in a bit, dude. See you later. See you champions, mate. Come on,
Oh,
Safi.
and I
See you
saw
later.
you. Look, this came in today. Nice, no?
Oh, lovely. Good timing, man. Good timing. Lovely stuff. And nice monochrome one as well. See you later, man. See you later. See you later. Oh, wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. I'm going to Legand as well. He's had a very good week, man. Come on, James, man. Come on, James. How you doing, man? Man City are champions, mate. I can't.
I'm good. Come on.
Oh, what a season. What a season.
Can you hear me?
It's been absolutely incredible, hasn't it? Yeah, I can hear you, man. I can hear you. All good.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I need to mute this. Yeah, I just need to mute the TV.
I can't. Yeah, like how good has this been for you, man? How good has this
I
season
just
been?
had Barcelona game. The season's been incredible. Well, we've still got the potential for a treble, which if you turn that back in like December.
I mean, like, you wouldn't have believed it. Like, a lot of people say we wouldn't even get a top four, you know, at the start of the season. Look at us now. I mean, I feel like Guardiola will feel like this is his best one, you know, because of all the doubts about him.
Yeah. I mean, I just tweeted a quote. Yeah, I mean, I just retweeted the tweet of Sky Sports now after the Spurs game in November.
Oh, I can't even remember what it says, man. But either way, it's like things have changed so dramatically, so quickly. What do you put that down to personally? Because it has been a massive change, hasn't it, since around that November time?
Yeah. Well, it's like, well, because it was around about the period that the squad that we had the COVID outbreak in the squad, wasn't it? That we started actually
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
good again. And then I think it was like the players came back from that re-energized, thinking like, okay, especially when we beat Chelsea 3-1 at the start of the year. They thought,
I mean,
okay,
that was-
if we can beat Chelsea with like a very good team, by the way. I know that was like when they were still under Lampard, but they were still a very good team, and they were winning games. We won like I think we were in the bottom half of the table at that point, and at that point the team really came together and thought, we can do this. We can still come back from this.
Do you think that was the game? Do you think that was the game, that the one there where they suddenly realised that this was
I do.
possible? Was that the
I
turning
do
moment for you?
think that game against Chelsea. Yeah. I think that was it.
I mean, what? Who? I
And
mean,
it was-
we chatted
well,
quite a lot. Go on,
Recently
carry
we
on.
heard
No, I was going to say,
yeah,
man,
I
it's like,
was gonna say, and we heard and we heard a bit about that time that. Oh yeah, sorry.
oh, we're just talking over each other. All I was going to say, mate, is like, I think there's a little bit of delay. All I was going to say is like, who has been your player of the season? Because obviously there's Gundogan shouts, there's Bernardo shouts, there's Diaz shouts, there's Foden shouts. Is there anyone in particular you think that deserves a bit of credit that maybe doesn't get the credit?
I never liked the term. I never liked doing like specific player of the season. But
Yeah.
I'll be honest, any one of them could win it, and I'd say it was fully deserved.
I mean,
But like, of course, like
if
it
you
will
give-
be the likes of Diaz or Mahrez or Gundogan who end up winning it.
yeah, well, Mahrez is going to win it because of the vote. But Mahrez has been incredible this season, hasn't he? Like he's like his. I think this has been his best season at Manchester City. Would you say that's
Yeah.
probably fair?
Yeah, they've all had good seasons.
They've all been absolutely amazing. Like Zinchenko as well. What a
Even
turnaround for
Edison.
him recently.
Give it Edison.
Edison's
Yeah,
been amazing
I mean,
as
give
well.
it
Man. He's
any
been
of
absolutely
them.
brilliant.
Edison's been amazing. He's had a great season. I mean, what? He's going to win the Golden Glove again, isn't he?
Is he? No, he is. You're right.
As long as
He
we,
only needs like one or two more, doesn't he?
he was.
What do you want to see now? Like, what do you want to see now with the rest of
Yeah.
the season? Like, we've got a few
Well,
games left. Do you want to see relatively strong
I want-
teams? Do you want to
I
see some
wanna see the-
academy players play?
Yeah, well, I want to see the players going for like I want to see the players properly try. We don't have anyone in the race for the golden boot, unfortunately. But I want to see I want to see Kev try to go for the most assists again.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Like, the versatiles are good. I mean, like, I think he will play relatively strong teams because I think he wants, not always, but I think he wants to keep everyone sharp for the Champions League final because it wouldn't make sense now to just drop everyone because they need to stay sharp, don't they? Like, you can't not play for 2-3 weeks now because like otherwise you will be a little bit rusty, man. Like, so I think what we'll see is like massively rotated teams every now and then, you know. But at the same time, you can't just sit everyone on the bench always either. So we've got such a big squad that like it'd be weird just to say, go on.
I wouldn't rotate quite. Yeah, like, I wouldn't rotate quite as much as we saw United rotate today, but I would still put like the likes of Doyle and maybe a Palmer or a Delap into the squad every so often for the rest of the season.
That would be absolutely wonderful, man. Be absolutely wonderful. But Lagan, man, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to crack on and get some other people on because I want to be done by half an hour.
And
Edison
is on 18 clean sheets.
18. Oh, he's going to win.
On 18 clean sheets. Edward Mendy's on 16.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah,
come on,
he's
Edison.
still clear. What? Got 3 games to go.
Nah, he'll win. He'll get 2 more, I reckon. 2 more, I reckon. Yeah, 3 more. We're champions, man. We're champions. Yeah. Mate, catch you in a bit. See you later, dude.
And I've also got a Leicester City, and I'm also wearing a Leicester City polo as well. I've got a Leicester City shirt as well.
Got Foxes on. Come on, Leicester, man. Come on, Leicester. Catch you in a bit, man. See you later, dude. See you later. Bye-bye. What a legend, what a legend. We're going to go to Robbie, man. We're going to go to Robbie. Robbie, my friend, we are champions. You got the classic 98-99 shirt on there, man. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling amazing.
It's good, isn't it?
Absolutely
It's good.
amazing. Brilliant. Not how I wanted us to win it. I'd rather we did it ourselves, but it doesn't matter. Who cares? We're champions.
I guess,
I'd
I'd say,
fall.
obviously, we all wanted Chelsea, but I mean, I guess we did do it ourselves in a way, if that makes sense. Like, because obviously,
Of
I mean,
course,
like, I mean, when you're that far ahead and you're that brilliant, it's almost inevitable that they're going to win it when you're not playing because there's no. It's almost like it's just all it takes is a team just to not be quite good one day, and that points gap is. It almost feels like it's going to happen if that makes sense. So. We've seen it a few times now where that happens when we've been that far around. Teams have just won it for us. But I guess it doesn't matter. I guarantee the players right now will be home. They'll be celebrating as well, won't they? And what do you think this will mean for Guardiola? Because we touched on it a little bit during this video. But I've got a school of thought that this will feel satisfying Guardiola. Because a lot of people were questioning, weren't they, a few months back, A lot of pep out chants and a lot of chants, but shouts, I guess. And people were saying it in the media as well. So it was mainstream, wasn't it? It wasn't just the fans being frustrated. What do you think it'll mean to him, mate?
This one... I don't know, because I feel like this is his title win, really. The last ones was down to a lot of individual brilliance from the likes of De Bruyne. Obviously, Pep picks a team, he sets a stall out and everything. But this year it was this was a collective title win. It wasn't about one individual standing out and dragging us through. And that's got to be down to how Pep sets the team out every week and the tactical tweaks here and there. Obviously, he's done the whole false nine thing, and that's been absolutely revolutionary for us. Nobody could deal with that, and especially in these times as well. Obviously, with his own personal circumstance, losing his mum, and then with the whole COVID thing as well. To get this team working that hard for each other in those circumstances when we could have just sort of not down tools, but like used it as an excuse to have an off year like everyone else has pretty much in the league. That just shows his mentality and the mentality of the squad in general. The mentality monsters whole Liverpool thing got thrown around last year. I think we flipped that on its head. That's us now.
Do you trust this team now? Because I know you, and I know I've seen your tweets, and I know you occasionally get frustrated and all that kind of stuff, and that's totally known for what it's worth. And I feel I've sensed a lot of anxiety from people every now and then. But do you trust this team, man? Now, like, do you looking back and think, why did they ever doubt them or anything like that?
But I didn't think. I think I get a bit of a bad rep, I don't think I'm the worst. I'm actually one of the calmer.
Oh, you're not the worst.
I'm
the worst. But I think
that
maybe a tweet sticks in your mind or something like that. I think I've seen the odd tweet or whatever every now and then. And I think, but I guess the question's broader, not just for you in general. Should people trust him now? I guess in general, because we panic and stuff every now and then, and I do as well every now and then. I probably overreact after the Chelsea game, but this team deserves our respect, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, they deserved our respect before this, and just this season drills that home again, going on and saying what I did before about the circumstances and everything to do what we've done this year. I know it's been a procession, but not in the way that we have done it in previous years. But yeah, absolutely. And if we go in and if we go and win that Champions League title, it's even more so. I
mean, is this season already a success for you? I mean, I'm not gonna wait it. It's a genuine question, because we've won a league, obviously in the Carabao. Is it enough for this season, or do you want more, man? And obviously, we all want more, but was that okay this season for you? Anyway,
you need to sort of stop and think about it, where we've come from. Even winning a trophy, even just winning the Carabao Cup. That's something City fans wouldn't have dreamed of 15 years ago, and of course it's enough. Winning a league title, winning 3 out of 4 league titles in the past 4 years, it's always going to be enough. It's never going to get old winning the league title.
Hear me out. If we win the Champions League this year, is this the greatest ever Premier League side? Just over the last 3 out of 4. It's possible.
Yeah, I'd have to say so. I mean, rival fans will argue, the Invincibles or the United sides where they won the treble, or the '08 side, or even the Chelsea side. But we've done it consistently now. We are winning over a 10-year period more league titles than anyone else. I think we have to be in that conversation. If not, we are the greatest Premier League side.
It's just sunk in that I even asked that question in the first place. Like,
I know, how crazy is
it's gone
that?
from just being like, fucking hell, we've won a trophy, to now arguing whether this is the greatest Premier League side of all time, which is just insane
Madness.
next step. That we're not even talking about shit. We won the league. Now it's like, yeah, we won the league. Of course we won the league. And is this the best team to win the league? That sounds incredible. And I guess that's the realization I just had in my head. I was sat there thinking, I can't believe I just asked that. Like, the idea that we asked that 10 years ago, even 10 years ago when we were just about to win the league for the first time, it just feels mad. And I know it's the money and all that kind of stuff, but still, even with the money, like, the money was spent well. It was spent well. It was spent intelligently, and like, you can't turn around and say, "Go on."
Yeah, the amount
What are you gonna say?
of money the likes of United have spent and Chelsea this season to not win a league title, it shows you can spend money, but it doesn't mean shit if your manager can't get the best out of the players. Pep, going back to what you said before about giving Pep respect, you need to be able to manage these multi-million pound players and their egos and all that. I'm sort of lost for words on the whole thing, to be honest. It's not
Mate,
actually something yet.
It's incredible. We are Premier League champions. It's shame there's no hype going on. We're not outside the ground or anything like that. We're not there and stuff like that. But we're champions, mate. Robbie, go enjoy it, man. Go enjoy it, because go. What you say?
Yeah, we need to give these players credit, though. I commented on the stream before that you did, saying United fans, Liverpool fans, they've been hyping up their players all season. City fans don't do that enough. We need to ram it down rival fan throats now. How good our players are, how good this squad is, how good Pep is, and we need to start, spreading propaganda agendas, all this stuff, and sort of really ram it home to everyone how bloody good this team is.
Mate, we are the noisiest of neighbours, and I absolutely love it. Robbie, thank you so much for coming on, man. Go and enjoy the rest of your evening. City are champions. Catch you in a bit, mate. See you later, dude. Don't forget, guys, if you want to become a member, youtube.com/Esteemed Kompany or patreon.com/Esteemed Kompany to have your say as well. Thomas, I hope you're ready, mate. I can see you playing around with your hat in the green room. I hope you're coming on. Here he is, man. Hello, my friend. How you doing? Thomas, we're fucking champions, mate. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I shouldn't have been nervous, but honestly, it was taking longer than I would have liked. I know I'm just kind of superstitious in that way, but I'm gonna be honest. I did not think we would bottle it, but I was getting a little bit nervous.
Why, man? Why? Is it because it hadn't happened yet?
Yeah, that's part of it. And where I'm from in the States, a lot of my teams are notorious for giving away big leads such as this. So I don't know. I think it's just ingrained in my head at this point, honestly.
It's funny because usually, like, I understand that, because that's a very Man City viewpoint as well, but we're the one usually catching up the big lead. So we don't really do that. It's usually the other way around. But I guess it was inevitable eventually, Thomas, man. It was we were the best team in the league. We are, as much as United pretended to. I made an analogy of like it was like letting your little brother, pretend they're good at FIFA. Like, they were never that good. They were never even close to us, really. And they got a little bit of hope just because it wasn't done yet. But ultimately, that's all it was. The only hope they had was just more because we just hadn't got there yet, as opposed to that they were challenging us. Is that a fair analysis? It was more just time.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you could just tell that we were stuck in first gear, and United were playing some of their best football that they've played in the last 3 or 4 years. But you could still tell that there was 2 or 3 levels that we were yet to reach, and that United were gonna just United. Like they were eventually just gonna. I will say though, I'm impressed by how they've come back from losing positions like. I think it's like 14, 15 times this year, which I wish we had more of, but it just seemed like
Well, you say that, man, but it means we're just not ever losing. So, like,
Right.
so, like, I mean, like, we don't have to do that. I mean, one thing I will say is that's probably why they're not going to win the league, because they have to do that in the first place. You know, so I mean, that
Right.
probably. That's probably the reason why they're not there, you know, because we don't come from behind, we just win, you know, out and out. So I guess that's the difference, isn't it? Really,
It really is. Yeah, it's down to the players, and a special shout out to Fernandinho. I've seen in the news,
Yes.
you see all this stuff about how he rallied the players together midway through the season, which they needed. They really needed. They needed to kick up the ass, and it was. You could just tell that we had 1, 2, even 3 levels to go up, and it seemed like United were kind of playing the best that they would play, and eventually, you know, the scales would tip. And I was skeptical and nervous, but I knew we'd get top 4. I knew we'd compete for top.
I
top 3.
can see a dog over your shoulder. And I'm so excited already.
He always likes it.
Is a dog alert, Nicola?
No.
Dog on the stream. It's a lab as well, I think. Is it a lab? Am I right there?
Yeah, he's a lab mix. He's pretty tired. Went for a walk today.
He's adorable, man. I get so excited as soon as I see a dog on the stream. It's what I always want. More dogs on this channel.
I'll bring him on. I'll bring him on sometime when he's awake and messing around.
Nicholas, what are you shouting, Nicola? Nicholas shouting, "Show me the dog."
All right, hold on. Let's see.
What's he called? Get him on. Like, oh, there we go. Yes, dog on the stream.
Leo.
Dog on the stream. Oh, Leo. Oh, Leo's. Oh my God, Leo's beautiful. Leo's absolutely beautiful.
No.
Nicholas... Oh, sorry, Leo.
He's camera shy.
Oh, look at yes, Leo. Go on, Leo. Oh my God, he's beautiful. I absolutely love him. Fucking Leo's tired and bored, but I had to do that. Sorry. Fucking come on, Leo, man. Come on, Leo.
He deserves a bit of camera time for sure.
She does indeed. But Thomas, mate. Like we talked a lot about player of the season. Who is it for you? Who's it for you, mate? Like I'm genuinely curious.
See, I'm torn with this one because I feel like there's so many different players that it comes down to. I think if I had to pick one, it has to be Diaz.
Yeah.
But I want to give like a lot of credit to like the Phil Foden. Like obviously he's brilliant and we're all talking about it, but I genuinely think he could be a contender for that. And I think another player is even Rodri. I don't think he could win it, but I think he was so underrated this season because of all the slack that he maybe has gotten over the past year or two. But yeah. I think the way he controlled play and dictated it the way that we played this season, I thought it was quiet, but it was very, very good to see him excel in the role he's in.
Mate, it's been an absolutely wonderful season. Thomas, thank you so much for coming on, man. I absolutely love it. We've won the Premier League again, mate. We've won the Premier League again, and hopefully I'll be chatting to you after a Champions League final. Thomas, you're an absolute legend.
Yep, I'll
Catch
be there.
you in a bit, man. See you later, dude. See you later.
See ya.
Come on, see you later, dude. By the way, I want to come to you if you're in agreement. I want to get to you. I want to hear a Man City chant for the next people. You know, I want to hear a little bit of energy, man. Guys, we've got Tony coming on next. Tony, but I want to say thank you once again to Leo. Leo for guesting on the channel there, and of course Thomas as well. But Leo is an absolute legend. I like the idea that Leo could potentially hear this, and if so, Leo, you can hear this. Walkies. Hopefully Leo could hear that. Hopefully Leo's going crazy right now. But either way, Tony, I'm coming to you, man. Like Thomas, I can see you in the green room. So if you reacted to walkies, let me know, man. I want to see a thumbs up. Oh my God, Nicola, are you ready? I can see Thomas in the Tony in the green room. He's got another dog coming on. There's another dog coming on. Tony, and Nicola's coming over. She's coming straight over. Tony, hello.
Hello.
What is it?
Nicola said, "Oh my God, what is it?"
Jack Russell.
It's a Jack Russell.
Jack Russell.
Oh, what's his name?
Milo.
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 Nicola's very happy about Milo. Tony is a what?
I'll grab you another one.
Oh, Nicholas, I thought you were grabbing the microphone, Nicola. I thought you wanted to talk to Milo. Mate, Milo, we're champions. Any words? No, Milo's gone. Milo's fucked off. Tony, man, we're champions. We're champions, Tony, man. How are you, man? You all right?
Amazing now. That's made my day.
Thank you. It's incredible, mate. It's incredible. Like, I mean, how does this one feel compared to the others? I know it's a weird one because we're all, you know, It's like you got what the players aren't on the pitch, we're all being at home and all that kind of shit. But how's it feel, man?
It is different. I actually forgot that we could have won it today. Genuinely, I went to work this morning and completely forgot that United were playing. So I literally came back from work, got changed, we went out for dinner, and I was on my way home, and one of my mates texted me saying, "Oh, you've won the league without kicking the ball," and I'm like, "Nah." Had to check it. I was like, "Oh, sure thing." So yeah, it's weird, but you know. Title winners.
It's brilliant, isn't it? But you do wish you were watching him on the pitch and when the plays, when they drop to the knees. But do you know what? I guess we were much better than everyone else. That we were robbed of that in a way because of our own brilliance. So like, if we weren't that far ahead and it wasn't that miles away, then it's almost like we're that good, so that's why it was that easy in the end. I guess in a way, wasn't it?
We've done legwork, and then United gave it to us on a plate. That's the dream, isn't it?
Were they ever really in it, though? I guess they were around January, but the City got going. There's only really one winner, wasn't there?
Yeah, as soon as they turned the season around, we said it multiple times. We had the sluggish start, but they got their heads together. Coaches, managers, players, everyone got their heads together, pulled the finger out, and a few hard months. And there we are, easy.
No, it's incredible, man. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, like, there's any question marks about this side or Guardiola, they're unjustified. I mean, regardless of the money spent, this team is it's a phenomenal football team. And, like, it's not the players' fault that the team, there's a lot of money has been spent on them, whatever. No. And what I would say is that people turn around and question this team, but people laughed at Kyle Walker being worth 50 million. People laughed at John Stones being worth that. People would laugh at the idea of Zinchenko becoming a left back, and there's a lot of unfashionable players, and you wouldn't say you could win the league without a striker and all this kind of stuff. And like, you can turn around and say all the money, but like, these weren't players that everyone thought we were going to win titles, were they? Like, they weren't. No. Like, we got John Stones from Everton with mistakes in him. Kyle Walker was like, you can't cross, and there was always a question mark over all these players, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the magic of what the owners have built in total. Like, when you actually look at the CFG as a whole, when it came to Manchester City being, let's be honest, the flagship club of the system, they have the people there. They knew exactly what they wanted. Yeah, okay, John Stones had mistakes in him before he joined. Was he a 50 million signing back then? Probably not. Kyle Walker, like you said, there was question marks on him. Was he 50 million? Probably not. But City saw in them what they needed to make the system work. And ultimately, here we are, 3 league titles in 4 seasons.
I guess the difference is that none of these other people would have gone for these people, and that's it. Like, we were like United and Chelsea could afford everyone we signed, every single player we signed. They could afford it, but they didn't do it because they're not as well run. And what I will say, that's what makes Man City brilliant, isn't it? Because we hired the best man, but I guess it's the attention to detail which makes this club, and once again, the powerful people at the top of this club so brilliant, right down for the meticulous detail, and it's pre-Guardiola as well. They've been planning this for a long time, man. Like, and I guess, are we seeing the start of this era now? Like, I mean, are you expecting 2 more titles after this with Guardiola? Like, is that?
I think the start of the era was the Centurion season. I think when we done the 100 points, the big question was, can we continue to do it? That's how all the other clubs are rated. They won it and then they kept it going. And so for me, that season was the start of our era. We retained the title. 1920, it wasn't the best of seasons, but there's circumstances, I guess. But we've turned up this season, and with near enough the same squad that was there 4 years ago. There's been a couple gone out, a couple have come in, but the majority of that team were there at the start for the Centurion season. So I think this, rather than being the start of an era, I think this is the significant part of it. And now it's up to them to keep it going, I guess.
Mate, it's been absolutely wonderful. I mean, we've been talking a lot about player of the season. Like, is there who stood up for you? Who's been your player of the season, man? What's going on? What are you giggling at?
It's hard to single one person out, like, because you can look at different angles. You can look at Zinchenko and Stones and how they have come along, and just how good they have been compared to last season. Look at Diaz. He's walked into the team and has fixed everything, I guess you could say. And then you've obviously got like Mahrez, Foden, Gundogan. When Kev was out, everyone stepped up when they needed to. I'd edge to Diaz, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's not no one else deserves it. It's just he's just been that little bit more to the club.
He's been absolutely incredible, hasn't he? He's been absolutely incredible, man. Genuinely, what a player. Tony, man, thank you so much for coming on, mate. We're champions. Go and play with Milo, man. Go play with Milo.
Oh, we're going to.
Catch you in a bit, dude. See you later. See you later, man. See you later. Guys, we're fucking champions, man. It's good. Tenzin, I hope you're there, mate. I'm coming to Tenzin now. Hello, my friend. How you doing, man? You all right?
Fantastic. Can you hear me?
I can indeed, man. I can indeed. Talk us through that. What this Premier League title means for you, mate.
I want to give shout out to one person.
Go on.
And that person is the most important person in the club, apart from Sheikh Mansour, and possibly even more important than him. And that's not Phil Foden. That's not Kevin De Bruyne. That's not Pep Guardiola. That is Khaldoon Al Mubarak. I think that man is an absolute genius. And if you were to look at his diary, like 10 years ago, the May 29, 2021 would be written on it, because that man is a genius. He can see the future. He is such a passionate man. He's literally won awards in all different countries, in South Korea, Italy, Great Britain awards. I don't know how he does it, but he has $100 billion worth of bunch of stuff that he do. The man is just absolute machine. And how I'm thinking is, if he were to be Manchester United's chairman and we had Ed Woodward instead, would we still be in the same position? And I would argue no.
Do you know what? When he became our chairman, I remember reading an article about how this guy absolutely obsessed, Khaldoon obsesses over football, and how he's foreigners, and he was obsessed and learning about everything from all the very best people about what made football teams great, basically. And he's obviously such a successful person and such an incredibly intelligent person that he absorbs and listens in a way that other people simply don't tend in. And honestly, I'm with you. This guy, obviously, he's very successful, and he's from a very successful family and all that kind of stuff, but he is built differently in terms of his attention to detail, and it was that attention to detail that made him surround himself with winners, doesn't he? He surrounded himself with people that he knew he could trust, whereas Glazers maybe they surrounded themselves with yes men, and there's none of that with Man City. Like, they were tough and they were firm at all times, but Khaldoon, man, he's an absolute genius, isn't he? Genuinely. And even through to hiring people like Cheeky and Ferran, like these serial winners as well, like with a vision. Like, he's been brilliant, hasn't he?
Yep, he looked at who plays the best football, and Guardiola's Barcelona side were playing the best football. And then he said, okay, I'm going to bring in these Cheeky and Frank, and then I'm eventually going to bring in Guardiola. So he brings in all these players, technical players like David Silva, like De Bruyne, Aguero is not tall. Aguero is not a Premier League center forward when he came here. But he brought in all these players and he made it every step of the way. Like, he just writes down everything 3 years later. And then and I'm pretty sure he's now writing down how he's going to overtake United. And I think winning the Champions League final would be the second step in overtaking United. The first is you build a team which wins the league, which plays very good football, better than United, and now you dominate Europe. And then all you need is you sustain that about 20 years. And then after 10, 15 years, all of the 18-year-olds, the 24-year-olds are going to be Manchester City fan. And that is his plan.
Tenzin, there's so many people asking in the comments, is this Khaldoon speaking right now? are you Khaldoon? Come on, man. Are you Khaldoon's son here? Have you joined?
I have joined his cult, but I am not Khaldoon. He is absolutely...
I don't believe you.
Yeah, so just one player, I think Ruben Diaz, I think is clearly the best player and
I
in
hear
the
you
Premier
changing
League
the
today.
subject there, mate. I hear you changing. I'm joking, mate. I'm joking. Carry on, Tenzin.
I just wanted to get a couple of the points that I had in mind. I don't want to take too much time.
No, no,
Um,
no, no. I'm joking,
mhm.
mate. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, so I think Diaz is the absolute because Guardiola teams have always played good attacking football. But even during the Barcelona side or even the Bayern side, who's supposed to be very good defensively, but they always were saying, oh, they're weak at the back or weak at the counter. But now this City team is equally good defensively compared to offensively, and which has I don't think has
Yeah.
ever happened in Guardiola's side. And literally, what has changed? Only thing that has changed is Diaz. Like everybody else, we had it before.
What is
So
it about him? What is it about him, man? What's the difference?
so
Because obviously we've had incredible leaders for.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. There's a couple of I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other things, but there's actually one or two. There's a technical thing that he does, which it's kind of hard to pick up, but he does it really well, which is that he looks at how people are shooting. So when a player has a ball, they would run forward, and if they're taking a half step, they're not going to shoot, or their shot is going to be very weak. But if they push the ball a little bit forward and they take two steps, then they have a chance to shoot. So Diaz so many times is going to pre-dive. He's going to look at how people are doing it, and whenever they take a two-step and look down at the ball, he actually dives beforehand, and that blocks a lot of shot. If you have actually seen Diaz blocking how many shots in the last like 3 games, important games, he just blocks every single shot whenever they take a shot, and that's why he pre-dives. If you look at so even the crosses, so many times like he's on the ground like 1 second before the ball's been hit, and so that's kind of a technical thing. Uh, but there are so many other things that he's very good at. I do think that our team is not a perfect team. I don't think we are the best Premier League side. I don't think we are,
Yeah.
sorry to say this, but nowhere near the best team of all times, because there
Obviously not,
are
man. Like,
obvious places where we can improve,
I
and
mean,
we
that to
cannot
me is
have. Yeah.
Barca 0809. That Barca 2009 era Guardiola is, in my opinion, the best football side of all time. But you don't have to be the best to be the all time to be the best right now, do you, mate? You don't have to be.
That is
In my
correct.
opinion,
We are on the correct trajectory. We are absolutely on the correct trajectory. If Diaz is so young, and even Rodri is, not old, so we are on the correct trajectory. But I do think we do need some players. We do need a number 9 who's going to score us those easy goals. Those, you just play rubbish and then you win 2-0 because you had a center forward. And
exactly, mate.
we also need a left back. I am now absolutely sick and tired of Mendy. Like Mendy, I thought was going to be really good, but I'm absolutely sick and tired of him. He's off the field, on the field. He's always caught off guard. He's not that fast. He looks fast, but he's not. He's not that strong. He looks strong, but he's not strong.
Tenzin, man.
All he has is
Tenzin,
very
man.
good crosses. Yeah.
We've just won the league.
Yeah,
What I will say is, you're right,
I-
but life is good, isn't it? Life is
Mhm.
good. There's always going to be someone, by the way. There's always going to be someone. What I
Uh-huh.
will say in Mendy's defence is there's always going to be someone who has a harder time or he's not quite as good as the others. And maybe that's Mendy for us, but that is life, innit, man? That is life, and it's good, man. Tenzin, you're an absolute legend, by the way, and everyone's loving you in the comments for what it's worth. You're
Thank you
passionate,
so
man,
much.
and I love
Thank
it.
you so much.
I love it.
Yeah, last thing before I go, we're going to win the Champions League, and if Chelsea fans, the worst thing is that the Thomas Tuchel is not as stupid as the Chelsea fans, because Tuchel knows that we're not.
Oh, what a burn! Fucking hell, man.
Chelsea fans have this delusion that we're going to play, 5-1-4 formation against them in the Champions League final. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to have our wingers wide with Ben Chilwell is not actually going to be on the receiving the cross from Chelsea's right when he has to deal with Riyad Mahrez. No, he's not
Mate,
going to do that. He could
Tenzin,
come forward.
You woke up and chose violence, Tenzin. You chose violence today. I absolutely massively appreciate it. You be kind, man, to those fuck those Chelsea fans right now. What I'll say, Tenzin, catch you soon, man. You're an absolute
Thank
legend.
you
I
so much.
enjoyed that a lot. It's great fun. Catch you in a bit,
Thank
man.
you
See you
so
later.
much.
Win the league. Come on, Tenzin. See you later, man. In a bit. Bye bye. Tenzin woke up and he chose violence. What a fucking brutal. I admire that energy from Tenzin. Genuinely admire that energy. Neil, thank you so much for coming in. Remember, Neil, you're an absolute fucking legend. Neil joins the ever-growing list of esteemed companions. My pals online, absolutely love every single one of you. Neil, you're an absolute legend, mate. Also, as well, Rob saying, cheers, Stephen. Pleasure watching with you all season. Rob, it's a pleasure watching with you too, mate. I absolutely mean that. And every single one of you's live right now. Fucking absolute legend. AJ saying, get to the Etihad, lad. Quite possibly, but maybe not. It's quite late. Like, we'll see what time I finish going live. But maybe, man, maybe. I'll be there very, very soon. In general, soon. If not tonight, maybe definitely very soon after that. But if you're down there, have a great time, every single one of you, man. Every single one is. I've had a few to drink, and I'm pretty sure Nicholas had a glass of wine as well, so it might not be possible. But either way, big love to all of you. As well, of course, there's a couple more comments. Everyone's like, this guy's just Khaldun. Tenzin is Khaldun, I'm almost certain. If he wasn't, he may as well be. Neil! He's just Neil, you're absolute legend, man. Neil, just dropping the super chat donation. Neil's a member as well. Like, Neil, I'll get you on the next one, man. Absolute fucking legend. And also, of course, where is it? City are champions indeed. They are. Darren, man, Darren, chill out, man. With all the comments. Steve Morrison as well saying, if you win the Champions League, is this your best season ever? I don't know you used to support, Steve, but like, yes, it is, mate. It is by default. Premier League, Champions League. How can it not be? I mean, it's as good as it gets, man. Back in mid-December, Steve put, I thought this was the heading for your worst season in the Manchester era. And look how it turns around, man, Steve. But it is. It might not be our best side ever, because honestly, I still think the 17 to 19, that when we won the 2 leagues in a row, I still think that side was possibly better. But what I will say is that this one is our best season ever if we win it. If we win it. But if not, it's probably the Formidables, the one we won everything domestically. But either way, Steve, it's an incredible side, and I can't believe we're even getting to debate that. It's a phenomenal time to be a Manchester City fan. Pete, I hope you're there, mate. I'm coming to you now, mate. Hello, Pete.
Stephen,
we're Man City. We're champions of the fucking Premier League, Pete.
I'm City till I die. I'm City till I die. I know I am. I'm sure I am. I'm City till I die. Let's go, Stephen.
Till I die. I'm City till I die. I know I am. I'm sure I am.
I'm City till I die.
Yes, damn fucking right, Pete, man. Like
absolutely.
We're champions, man. We're champions. It's good, isn't it? It's good. It's good.
Yeah, and when you first went live before this one, I put in the chat. I know you missed it, but you had tens of thousands of comments coming along. I said, what's the definition of irony, Steve? It's Man United losing at the quote unquote theater of dreams to hand City the title.
Oh, Pete, I love it, mate. I absolutely love it. And you know what? That's Man United these days. They're just slightly funny, aren't they? They've got some good moments, but overall, they're a tragicomedy, as Shakespeare once said. Like, that's what United are these days, man. Like, they think life's good for them, but it kind of isn't, and it's kind of tragic and kind of funny at the same time. But that's all United are these days, man. Like, they are just what United are these days. They're just a rich old relative with dreams and delusions of grandeur, and that's all they are. I'm not saying they weren't brilliant at one point, but they're a washed-up actor with loads of money, and like no one takes seriously anymore, and that's all they are. Like,
well, they're the ones that continue to stamp their foot, Steve, and say Manchester's red when we all know it's been blue for 10 years.
The only thing in red in Manchester right now is buy wine, and that's it. Nothing else is, man. Nothing else is. And life is very good, man. Like, what is this like? What does this mean, man? Like the league. What does this mean for the players? Do you reckon? Because obviously we were out of it at one point, allegedly, and obviously things changed. Just to be honest, I didn't think we were going to win the league. I'll be honest. I thought we'd get better. I thought we'd be in the top 4, but did you have to be exceptionally brave to say in November when we were 11th that we were going to win the league? And man, what does this mean for the players right now?
I mean, for them personally, it's probably a comeback of epic proportions. I think. It was mentioned earlier, I believe, that, Fernandinho kind of pulled everybody together and, kind of galvanized this group. But I think it honestly just speaks volumes to how I want to say one player, and, he's been mentioned over and over and over again, but Diaz, how a 23-year-old can command this entire team from the back like he does is
so good. So good.
I mean, there are guys 5, 6, 7, 8 years his senior on this team and he's literally just quarterbacking the team. Like, it's crazy.
He's absolutely incredible, isn't he? He's genuinely incredible. Like, I mean, is he our player of the season?
In my opinion, he is. But, one of the persons that I haven't heard mentioned so far that I would say is 1A is John Stones, because Ruben can't do it all by himself.
Yeah, you're right.
And the way that Stones has played alongside him for the majority of the season has been, stuff as a City fan that I didn't think I'd see from Stones.
I mean, does that kind of stuff make it sweeter, man? Does it make it sweeter? Because Stones, and I'm not trying to be all in the know here, but I was kind of in the know. Like, I heard from someone who works seriously within the game, and by seriously, I mean, like, literally a football agent, like, who knows this shit because it's their job. Right. City were offering John Stones out to clubs, and he was close to joining Tottenham at one point. And I know that as strong as a fact as it can be without being confirmed, and I don't doubt that's true. And there's rumors came out today that Garcia, the only reason Stones stayed around is because Garcia wanted to go, and I know that weirdly to be true. And does that not also kind of make it sweeter? Like, John Stones had this kind of like little personal, he had his little moment in his head where he's like, fuck, I could be throwing away the greatest chance of opportunity in my career here. And like, he buckled down, and like, for me, that makes it, those little stories to me make it sweeter. I mean, like, am I projecting a little bit too much here?
I don't think so at all.
Sweeter?
No, I think it has to be sweeter for him. I mean, it's such a redemption story. In and of itself. I mean, and I know it's been mentioned before in here, and I've read articles about it and stuff, the whole thing with his personal relationships that, were pretty rocky, and he ended up clearing that all up and that kind of thing. But, you get your regular life turned around, and you get an opportunity at redemption, and you're able to come in and do what he's done. He's got to be, out of everyone on the team, he's got to be on top of the world more than anyone, I would think.
He seems like a good lad as well, John Stones. I'm sure he's not perfect, because who is perfect? But he seems like he just seems like a normal lad, like a normal down to earth person. I love the fact that he's just grown, and like, it's almost like you can visibly see it. It almost feels tangible, his maturity, this season, how he's grown along, and he's grown alongside those players. And I said in other videos that as great as Vincent Kompany was, maybe he needed someone like Ruben Diaz, someone he could relate to on his own age, because it's great having someone like Vincent Kompany alongside you, but if you don't connect to them, you look up to him, but you don't. Sometimes you need someone who you get, who understands where you are personally, if that makes sense. And I do wonder if Ruben Diaz he's so much closer to John Stones in age-wise, and there's no like intimidation factor of Ruben Diaz and John Stones, because Vincent Kompany did have an intimidation factor because he was like the leader, he was like the senior statesman, and like, could John Stones ever relate to Vincent Kompany? Because he couldn't. They're such different people, clearly. And like, do you think that's the thing? Like, Ruben Diaz is coming in, and all of a sudden he's connected to someone like that?
I definitely think it's a big thing, and I'm obviously not Nostradamus, so I wouldn't know this for sure. but I think it would be very difficult for Ruben and Kompany to play beside each other. I really do, because they're both that alpha male, leader, and I think the fact that Stones doesn't have his ego and his personality wrapped up into not being that, it makes it a much better partnership.
I think he needs it, don't you, man? I think he needs someone like that alongside him. Quickly, by the way, I want to say, I know these United fans watching this, and this ain't personal, by the way, that we're ripping on United. It's because we have to. We're City fans. And if you win the league today, if you win the league and you can't go, fuck you to your rivals, then what is the point of football?
Right,
but it isn't personal to... I know these United fans who watch this channel, and if you watch this channel, you're a United fan, you're probably actually pretty sound, so thank you is what I will say personally, but don't take it personal.
My brother's actually a United fan. I give him shtick all the time, so I definitely texted his ass when they won today.
my best man at my wedding, my best friend of like 20 years is a United fan as well. If somehow you're watching this, Dave, I fucking love you, man, but right but that is the point I guess I'm making, man. You've got to enjoy these moments. And if I was a United fan and we won the league tonight, I would be expecting to hear from United fans. I'd be expecting to be throwing it in my face because that's what football's all about. Because you have to make these moments enjoy. It isn't personal. It's football. It's brilliant. And the reason as well. And United, if somehow you win the league in the next few years, I expect and suspect you will throw it back in my face, and rightfully so. And I'll take it. I'll be sheepish, but that is football. So United fans watching this channel right now, for one, fair play for taking an hour and 15 minutes to actually take this. Fair play, but don't take it personally. But anyway, Pete, we're just talking about John Stones, man. Like, I think Stones personally, and I'm going back to because I think it's important. He's not a leader, is he, John Stones? But he's someone who... Some people are leaders, some people are followers. And there's nothing wrong with that for what it's worth. But I think Bernardo's a follower. I think Zinchenko is possibly a follower as well. But what I mean by follower is that, like, if you had like a captain, you'd be like the first lieutenant or whatever. I don't know if that's the right army terms. But you know what I mean? Like, the one who's like the right-hand man, right in charge. And I feel like people like that. They need a Diaz. They need a Fernandinho. They need someone like that. But if you give them the right opportunity, right, they'll rise up as well, won't they?
I definitely think so. What's really interesting too is that once Kompany left, and the voice in the locker room was a little different. Obviously we've got Fernandinho. I consider KDB a leader, but I consider KDB more of a lead by example. I don't think he's not a guy that barks out a lot of commands and that kind of thing. And so, and I think I think honestly, Diaz really affects Rodri's game as well, because I don't see Rodri as a vocal leader either. I think he's going to be, somebody who grows into that position. He's got the, he's got the size and the athleticism to do it. But Diaz being back there, being the quarterback of the defense, I think just honestly just helps the entire team.
I agree, but Rodri's an interesting one because I feel like he's on the cusp. Like, he's like someone, like, when you see him celebrate, he's proper, like, he celebrates a bit like Diaz in terms of he's the first on the scene and he's like proper pumping his fists and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like there's something in him that wants to be a leader, but he's quite calm. But I wonder if Rodri will, with the likes of Diaz being there, I wonder if he'll find a little bit more of that English intensity, And what I mean by English, I mean the Premier League, like, that fieriness. Right. Like, if he gets a bit more of that, because he's come from the Spanish league, which is, I guess, to be fair, it's pretty Latin, so it's pretty fiery anyway. But like, I do wonder. I feel like Rodri is the kind of guy. He's not a leader by captain way, but I feel like there's a bit of that in him, but I feel like he hasn't unlocked it yet because he's quite intelligent. For what I can remember, he's got like a degree and all that kind of stuff, and he's quite educated as well. So I do wonder if like Rodri is another one that could learn from the likes of Diaz. And you're right that Diaz once again would have affected someone like him. But I mean, we're talking about captains here, man. But is there a better one, better leader than Pep Guardiola? Like, he's the best, isn't he, Pete?
Yeah, it's honestly not even close. There's so many great managers in the world, but I mean, again, everybody has mentioned it already, but he has really transformed the way the game's played. Everybody plays from the back now because he started playing from the back. Like this whole false nine thing. I was on here a couple of weeks ago when we had talked about the first leg of the champions, and just the way, You take a perfect example is a guy like Sterling. I think if it was another manager and Sterling was playing the way he was playing and he was taken out of the lineup and still given his opportunities here and there, I think he might have lost him. But I don't think he has. And I think it's again down to his leadership, the way that he expects a certain amount from his players and wants them to be professional. I mean, I think, and this, this whole thing with the false nine, I mean, the brilliance of that this season to pull off what we pulled with that is just unbelievable.
Yes, Pete, it's been absolutely incredible, and we still could win another trophy, which feels weird to say that after we win the Premier League, it could get even better. Pete, mate, you're a legend.
One more thing, Steve. One more thing before Steve. I know I said I wasn't Nostradamus, but a couple of weeks ago when I was on here, I told you we had broken PSG spirit, and I told you we were going to win 2-0 back home. And what did we do?
You're right, man. You're right. Pete, you're a legend. Catch you in a bit, man.
Cheers.
See you later, dude. See you later. Connor, hope you're there, man. Connor, we are the Premier League champions, man. Come on, Connor.
Campeones, ole, ole, ole.
Ole.
Amazing, man. Fuck yeah.
This team, how good is this team, man? How good is this team?
I mean, like, greatest of all time. Dude,
Wow.
they're no, I mean, like, I'm kind of joking, but like, I just, why not? Why not? Like, let's start the argument. They're incredible, and it sucks that like we didn't win on the pitch, but and I just like a part of me like I feel like I won't feel it until I see the trophy celebration and all the players just hamming it up, but just having it in the bag nonetheless is obviously an amazing feeling.
It's incredible, man. Like, what do you put this this transformation down to? Personally, we talked a lot on this video about so many different things, but I mean, it could be as simple as the thing that everyone's talked about. But in your personal opinion, Connor, like, what was the changing point? Because where things did change exponentially. Yeah. Can I ask a favor, by the way, man? Because I understand copyright rules. And just you can tilt your camera a bit because there's TV in the background, and like you'd be surprised. There we go. You're surprised how often like a snippet of things can. I would
never want that to happen.
You see my TV there once. I remember having it over my shoulder once, and I got a Sky DCMA request. And I was like, "Fucking hell!" And like literally, like it was like a snippet in the corner. It's ridiculous. But anyway, go on. As I was saying, what changed it for you, man? What changed it for you this season?
I think like I want to give a shout out to the assistants on Guardiola's bench. They eat so much shit for 90 minutes, like once or twice a week. Like Guardiola is just such a maniac, like while a game is going on, and he'll come back to the bench and like just rant for like 3 minutes straight. And then he'll look at his assistants waiting for some kind of answer. And then they'll start to give him an answer. And then he'll walk away in the middle of them giving him an answer. And I actually think that they play a huge role because everything I've read is like, they're pretty much just his homeboys. They're just his friends that he like brings in from, past career experiences. When someone leaves, he'll just find someone else. And I remember hearing like a few months ago when we were on that really, really solid run and it was like, okay, it looks like City's going to win the league again. I remember hearing that one thing that happened in the fall is that Guardiola like just went and got dinner with one of his mentors and he just couldn't, he didn't understand what was wrong, what was different about the way they were playing. And I don't remember who this mentor was, but the guy just basically told him, look, it's the press. You're not pressing as well as you did those 2 seasons you won the league, and you should figure that out. You should focus on that. And obviously that the press is everything, but just the fact that Guardiola has the humility to like seek out that mentorship, like to me that is everything. Like Guardiola is the greatest manager in the world because he's the greatest problem solver in the world, and he's the greatest problem solver because he actually seeks guidance. Like I think
exactly.
He's not some egomaniac, and he knows when he needs to change things and when he needs to fix things, and that's all it took.
Kind of, you're right, man. It's such a fine balance between knowing when to trust your gut instinct and knowing when to trust your confidence and your own self-brilliance, but also knowing when to be humble. It's honestly the amount of people, incredibly intelligent people who failed that simple test in life, just knowing when to listen to others. It's not easy. It's not easy knowing when to trust your instincts and knowing when to actually look at yourself a little bit. And Guardiola, he surrounds himself with people who get him, but he surrounds himself by people who aren't afraid to be difficult and tough. And like for example, I think someone said that mentor was Arrigo Sacchi. I don't think it was. I'm not sure that's true or not. But either way, I know he surrounds himself by people like Manuel Astarte, who's an ex-polo champion. Weirdly, he's like I've heard people work around him, and he's like a bit of a gets the job done kind of man. It sounds like a bit mafioso, but honestly, I'm not coding, but he's his fixer man almost.
Yeah, I love
he surrounds himself with people that I love it. But Guardiola doesn't fuck about because but once again, I think he respects people who have strong opinions and who as long as they present them as adults, and but as I said earlier, I think I was chatting to Safi earlier, I was saying like what Guardiola has, man, like it's that combination of everything. Like, I mean, people like Guardiola, like people presume that winners are just everywhere, but to be a winner is not the same as being a leader, and to be a leader is not the same as being a tactician, and to be a tactician is not the same as earning respect from your colleagues. You can be a winner but not a great manager, and you can be a great manager and not a great player. There's so many so many levels to it, isn't there? And Guardiola is I feel like you could sit there, and I'm not kidding, in a lab, or you could go on like, do you know when like you play an RPG or a game? I'm not sure if you're a gamer, but you get like stats, and you give them like, you have to balance your stats. I feel like Guardiola was just maxed out on everything. Like, and that's, I'm not just saying that, but I feel like
he'll spend the points like wisely. Like he'll lose a game because we didn't have like the tactics right. So he'll spend a point on tactics, and then like he makes these constant adjustments, and
then over time he's earned more points. Right, all of them.
Right, yeah. So he just gets stronger and stronger and stronger.
Tactics. Leadership, as Alessandro just says, fashion, 11 out of 10.
Oh, fashion.
Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking, the way he does his little, what I love about him as well, like, I tell you what, if I batted that way, and I don't personally, but like, if I batted that way and I wasn't marrying this beautiful woman over here, like, the way he does his little look into the camera, like, he's a fucking cool bastard. And I tell you what, I guarantee those young blokes in that squad would go, Pep, you're fucking sick, man. Like, your class,
you can tell, like, there are also managers around the world who have started to, like, dress like him and grow their beards out a little bit, and like, you know, like, so he's managed like him too.
He's cool as fuck. He's super intelligent. He's super charismatic, super witty, super passionate, savant-like in terms of what he remembers about football. It's like, you just, and I keep saying this a billion times, but I really want to say it just because City fans are listening right now. This is genuinely as good as it gets, and I'm saying this for a reason, not because like we need to remind that this is great, but I'm reminded because right now, enjoy it. We need to enjoy it, don't we, Connor? Because honestly, when he goes, we will still win stuff, but we won't win stuff in this way, in my personal opinion.
This is an era, and it is not over. So we have reason to be excited for, you know, as long as this era is going to continue. But it is an era, and we need to, like, we should try our best to recognize that, like, everything we have now, you know, likely won't be here forever. So, like, I mean, just look at all the teams, like especially because it's been a shitty year, like, financially for so many teams. But there's so many teams that are just like eating each other right now. Like, you know, like Serie A and La Liga are in disarray, and those teams spent so unwisely. And like, I don't think that'll happen at City because, you know, obviously we're run so efficiently and we have endless money. But we're just lucky that we're not one of those teams right now. Like, we really need to just stop and reflect on how great this is. This is fucking great.
It's incredible, mate. And like, I feel like sometimes you don't realize what you've got or what you've lost until it's gone. And I'm really worried that City fans will do that, Connor, because like, I feel like you've realized it yourself, and I implore everyone listening to do the same, because there'll be the odd loss every now and then. There'll be the Chelsea game, there'll be the Leeds game, but no one, when you look back in 5 years, you won't go, do you remember when we lost to Leeds? No one will care. Go, do you remember when we got the Champions League final, won't they? Go on.
Well, it's also like that, like, take a look at that Chelsea loss. Like, obviously it's scary because we're playing Chelsea in the Champions League, and there's a whole mentality game. But we also played like a 3-3-2-2 with every player that hadn't played on Tuesday, and like Ake next to Benjamin Mendy. Like, and we still should have won, probably. We still probably should have won that game.
That's the mad thing, like, isn't it, man?
Like, that is, like, just think about that. We are living in the good days if we can field that squad and still give Chelsea some fucking nightmares, you know? So
it's
all
absolutely
good.
Incredible. It's I want a big up Jerry, by the way. He says Manchester's blue, no stopping this fucking hype train. Chew indeed, Jerry.
Keep it going.
Big Jerry Eddie always, man. Like, I mean, what do we do now? Like, if you're Guardiola, and so therefore you're rich, successful, and beautiful, man. Like, what? Not saying you aren't. But what do you do right now, man? If you're like Guardiola, and you've got like, what date is it? So it's the 11th of May. We've got 18 days, so just under 3 weeks until the Champions League final, Connor. What do you do now? How do you approach the rest of the season?
I think that, you know, obviously the team that Chelsea hasn't seen is the team that's performed well in the Champions League, the false nine system. So logic would say, like, well, that's the team we're probably going to go into the final with. So what do the other players have left to play for?
Yeah.
What I would do if I were Guardiola is I would leave room for someone to turn my head. You know, I would say to the players, like, if someone who isn't in that lineup could carry some form through these next few games, you know, score a few goals or get a few assists, like whatever it is, if you can develop a run of form through these next few games, I'll give you a look for that final, you know, because it's the biggest game of the season. So if Sterling scores like 5 goals in these last few Premier League games, like why not start him in that game? Like at least it'll give Guardiola some questions. Like I would give those players a chance. Also, you want to keep everyone fresh. Just a lot of rotation, but I would tell the players, look, if you can show me something that I haven't seen, like that game, I haven't made any decisions yet. I think that's the sort of thing that I would bring into the locker room.
No, you're absolutely right, mate. You're absolutely right, and I agree. We have to get the likes of Varane, Gabriel Jesus, Sterling, people like that, and even Cancelo, man. Like Cancelo's, I would say he's not playing badly, but he's definitely dropped off a little bit recently.
Sure.
We need to give them a little bit of space to breathe. And do you want to see? I mean, we all want to see academy players. We all do. But is that even sensible right now? That's a bigger question because like. It could be, but it could not be. There's many ways to look at it, man. What do you reckon?
I think if we weren't playing in the Champions League final, then it would be more sensible to show the academy players some time. I think that because that game is looming, there's a sense that we need momentum going into it. So
I agree, actually.
So keeping people like on the bench or like not even in the 18, I think would be like a mistake. Because maybe the knife's edge would dull a little bit going into that game. We need to keep it as sharp as possible.
Do you know what? You're right. I think like telling people that are sitting out this week, it's almost like saying, "Oh, go relax." And do you really want to tell people that 2 weeks before a Champions League final?
No.
I mean, bear in mind, it's like I say, it's 18 days right now, but by Friday, it's the 12, 34. This is the 14th. It's bang on like 2 weeks before the final. Like, do you really want to tell people like you can rest and chill? Like it, and people will say like go and play the academy players, Palmer and Doyle. But what you are saying by saying that is like 2 weeks before the biggest game of their careers, they can have a holiday, and like I'm not sure how sensible that is, So that it's tough, it's difficult, but I feel like it'll actually benefit us all. I know there's the risk of injuries, but it's almost a risk worth taking just so people don't actually go into slippers holiday mode. Do you know what I mean? Like sitting back and putting the feet up and having a cigar and whatever. But Connor, mate, but we're champions, man. We're
champions. We're champions. Like we can all take a deep breath. Peace. We have peace.
You're a legend, mate. I'll catch you very, very soon.
Well.
Thank you so much for
coming
on.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Absolute legend. See you later, dude. And finally today, it's been streaming for an hour and a half now. I'm coming to Louis, man. Come on, man. We're champions. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Champions.
Ole, ole, ole. Champions. Oh, mate, I'm loving the tattoos, by the way. I've just noticed the tattoos for the first time. Looking class. Mate, we're champions, man. How are you feeling, man? You good?
Too good. Living life. Can't complain. And that, I love there's a stat I saw. Mike. I can't remember his name. That we've won the title at Old Trafford twice, and in the last decade, and they've only won it once in the last decade at Old Trafford. It's just like
it's a wonderful stat. It's mad, that, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. Genuinely mad.
Yeah. It's insane. Yeah, I love it. Love it.
It's so good, man. Like, and I know we're all sat at home and all that kind of stuff, and the players are on the pitch and everything. It's a bit like, but we need to enjoy this, don't we, mate? We need to enjoy this because, like, it's great, isn't it? It's absolutely. This seems brilliant, and like, and I can't wait to watch them on Friday now. I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to see their faces.
I know they're just gonna be like coming out, and hopefully there's no guard of honors and anyone looking like Bernardo Silva did against Liverpool. No.
We've got free guard of honors, man. Free guard of honors.
I'm gonna love the Everton after the whole what happened earlier on in the season. Seeing those lot after how we had to unfortunately. That's it's just gonna be they're gonna do that and just be and
it's incredible, mate. It's incredible. Like I know. I guarantee all the players. We sat there cracking open a bottle of champagne tonight, enjoying it. And not all of them, of course, but rightfully so because it's been a weird season. But it's been. I think the fact that it's been weird makes it brilliant. I would say, because everyone doubted the City side, didn't they, a few months ago? And look where they are right now. I mean. And how much do you think it means to the players right now, given what they've achieved?
Everything, the fact that they've done this in such a hit season, they've gone through so much, and there's been so many players in the team who've hit COVID, like Gundogan at the beginning of the season. It was just it's insane, how to
struggle with something so hard and then go on this run. It's like you got to give credit to every single one of them, not just the team, but like the team and the coaching staff. It's like the backroom staff as well. Every single one of them, like they can all look at this and just be like, "Wow, we've actually played a part in this in some way." Because they'll be all united together. I think that's the thing that I love the most about this team. It's just like, because like one of my idols is Lewis Hamilton, well, Sir Lewis Hamilton, and it's just like he's always like, "Thank you to everyone in the team," and it's just like it's like you can have the individual awards, we can have the brilliance of Diaz, De Bruyne, every single player, but like collectively they've been like sensational. And I gotta say, yeah, go on.
Carry on. Go for it. Carry on.
No, but it's like, yeah, it's just in a season like this, and yeah, it's just like they've helped like so many people out, and I'm pretty sure not just City fans, but there's been loads of other people who've watched this team and just be like, I absolutely love it, and they've just been like, how lucky is it to see it in a time like this.
Mate, you're absolutely spot on and very prescient words and very true words, man. Like, because I guess you always touch on like what football does for us all, doesn't it? Because football, it ultimately isn't important, but it's like it's the most important, important thing in the world, isn't it? 'Cause, like, it doesn't matter, but we all love it, don't we? Because it's like we're all sat here chatting away about City right now, and you know we're all sat here just celebrating away, and that's the beauty of football. And, like,
and apparently everyone doesn't care about City, so it's just like, and like everyone doesn't care about City, so it's just like, well, hey.
awful lot of tweets about that tonight. Eh? Awful lot of people saying they don't care.
No.
The lady doth protest too much, as they would say. It's great, man. It's absolutely great, and like we know they do care, and they care because they don't want to care, but they do. Yeah. I love it, and they're in pain, and we got to enjoy that. I know it's football, and they're all our friends, and really, like we know fans of every other team, but like. We got to enjoy this, haven't we, man? We got to enjoy this because this is wonderful. Like, and it could get better. It could get better. That's the crazy thing, isn't it, mate? It could get better.
Yeah, right there.
Oh wow, yeah, that's the good shit, isn't it, man? That's the good one. Like, how are you feeling ahead of that?
Too nervous. It's just like after I know you say about it's not significant like football, but it's just like that game on Saturday. I was just like, it's not that significant, but it could feel like it at the same time. But
it could do. You're right.
Like it's just like the players, like there'll be probably half of those players on the Chelsea team who will be playing. But Christian, like going back like from that game, one player who I'll be seeing if he's fit is Christensen, because I think he's someone important. Yeah, he's someone important for them, like to play out from the back. So if he's not there, I think we've got a slight advantage. But I think we got an advantage nonetheless because obviously we haven't shown our full hand.
We've got an advantage, mate, because we're the best team in the world and all the land. You know, like, best team in all the land and all the world. Like that's the advantage because, like, you're right that they haven't seen the full hand, but like we are very, 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 very good. And I guess we forget sometimes that no one's perfect, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we're all inherently flawed and we're all inherently human, but that's what makes it beautiful. The fact that we can be. Do you know what makes this so sweet, mate? Is because we were crap back in October and November, and now we're here. And I guess that like it's all part of the journey, isn't it? You have to have those lows to get those highs, and I think we forget that sometimes. Like the frustration of Chelsea or Leeds makes nights like tonight so much sweeter, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was like the lowest was probably either Leicester or Spurs.
I agree.
Like it was those two. Like I was just thinking, like when we were 1-0 up against Leicester or 1-1, I was just thinking we're going to win. We're still going to win in the second half. We might leak a goal or two, but we might just come out. But then it was just like that second half against Leicester. I was just like, I've never felt something like this in my life. And Chelsea as well, and Spurs as well. And I was really thinking. I remember Mourinho, like there was a pan to him, and it's just like I just saw like look on his face, and I was just like, that's him. That's the Mourinho that we know and hate so much.
Oh God, yeah, so much fun.
But it's how it turned out from there.
It's been, do you know what, mate? That's the perfect way to end it. That's literally chef's kiss how it turned out there. Like, mate, that's you're an absolute genuine legend. Thank you so much. And what I say as well, Aisha, like, says congrats to all you Blues get in. So your comments and Aisha's as well. I mean, that's the perfect way to end this video, guys. You're all absolute legends. Louis is a legend as well. Everyone's an absolute fucking legend. City have won the fucking Premier League. Come on, man. City. Exactly, man. We're Premier League champions yet again for the third time in 4 years. Watch it, drink it in. It's absolutely incredible stuff. Guys, have a wonderful evening. I've finished my 5th glass of wine or whatever it is right now. But either way, City are fucking brilliant. This guy's absolutely brilliant alongside me. Aisha's brilliant. You're all absolutely brilliant. Come on, man. We are champions of the Premier League for the third time in 4 years. Guys, for now though, have a wonderful evening. I'll catch my reaction and I'll see you all very soon. Like, comment, subscribe. City are fucking champions because we're brilliant. See you